Next, I'm recommending that the school board adopt the fiscal year 2024 annual financial plan. I know we've had an opportunity to review details of this financial plan a number of times throughout the budget process. Mr. Wack will provide again a brief summary of the financial plan, particularly as details of employee compensation are now included as they were finalized by the Board of Supervisors at a recent meeting. Mr. Wack.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Madam Chair, school board members, and Dr. Cashwell. Today we have arrived at the final steps of our budget process for fiscal year 2024, following the approval of the overall county budget by the Board of Supervisors on April 25th. In summary, the budget being considered for approval this afternoon reflects everything that was included in the fiscal year 2024 recommended budget that was approved by the school board in February, with funds being added for salary increases. More specifically, $37.8 million has been added across all operating funds to support 8.2% increases for eligible employees, and that includes $31.9 million in our general fund. Our general fund budget is increasing by approximately $47.7 million overall next year, with $29.4 million, or about 62% of that increase, coming from state funds, and the remaining $18.3 million coming from local sources. In summarizing several items that are in next year's budget that support our strategic goal related to recruiting, retaining, and rewarding our employees are grateful for the historic 8.2% wage increase and moving to a $15 per hour minimum wage. Funding has been added to cover the vast majority of group health premiums increases. The budget allows for increased pay for attendees of the new teacher academy and daily teacher substitutes that work on Fridays. Those are changes that we implemented this school year. And we have also included funding for desk audits to allow for regrades for multiple categories of positions. Furthermore, we are excited about the second year implementation of our career ladder. We're providing approximately $3,000 in additional pay for licensed instructional staff working at 9 opportunity schools, which have experienced higher rates of provisional and vacant teachers. And as part of this effort, those schools will have a dedicated full-time teaching fellow, an additional administrative leader, and another permanent substitute. Next year, we're also increasing the reimbursement allowance for tuition, praxis exams, and other professional learning from $1,000 to $1,500. And as recently approved by the Virginia Department of Education, and what we believe is the only initiative of its kind, we also plan to fund an online program for provisionally licensed teachers that will allow them to be licensed in 1 year. So overall, the fiscal year 2024 adopted budget reflects the following notable changes from the current year. Our general fund budget, as I mentioned, is increasing by about $47.7 million, or 7.9% compared to the current year, and that includes funds for the historic salary increase. Our debt service budget associated with the previously approved capital project debt is decreasing by 1%. The school nutrition fund is increasing by about 9.3%, and that's primarily due to personnel changes. And our state and federal special revenue funds are going up about 6.2%, and that's almost exclusively due to salary adjustments. So overall, the operating budget from all of our funds is growing by about 7.2%. These pie charts illustrate the major spending categories of our general fund budget, and we can see that instruction remains the lion's share of our budget at about 76% next year in 2024. And these pie charts represent the major revenue categories of our general fund budget, and we can see the state share is increasing slightly to about 54.4% in fiscal year 2024. And that concludes just the brief overview of the 2024 adopted budget, and be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Wack. I know I can speak on behalf of the board on this one and say how thrilled we are to have the 8.2% raise finally up on the screen and before us to approve today. Board members, do you have any questions or comments? Mrs. Shea, Ms. Ogburn, Ms. Atkins, Reverend Cooper. Thank you so much. No questions or comments from us. Thank you, Mr. Wack.
Appreciate it.
And now, board members, we're going to adopt our annual financial plan for fiscal year 2024. May I please have a motion?
I move that the school board adopt the 2024 annual financial plan as presented.
Thank you, Ms. Ogburn. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Reverend Cooper. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. The annual financial plan for fiscal year 2024 has been adopted. Dr. Cashwell.
Thank you.